Wow, Hector's looking gorgeous. First time. Maybe this is too loud a little bit. Okay.
No.
No. It's way too loud.
Well, no. It's just bump it down on the.
No. We're hitting red marks.
Okay, fair enough. Because I was listening to the feed. Oh no, too much. You bumped me down too much. A little bit higher for me. That's me. That one's me. That's good.
All right.
I played it back and it was a little bit quiet, but I think it's because of that. So yeah, we're good.
So we're back.
We back. Maybe
many months.
But fucking there we go.
Many months.
Okay. Yeah, dude, this has been
feels different.
It does feel different. New digs in the location. We won't say where. We don't want to dox our boy over here. But it's a nice place, man. You got a good view. You got fucking prime access points in case you need to fucking,
snipe someone.
Exactly. Snipe a friend.
You saw that picture of you?
I did. I just saw it. That was funny. That was a good one.
It's a nice Acura.
Yeah.
It'd be a shame.
That's funny.
Be a shame.
But yeah, how are you? How are you feeling about it, man?
It's way worse. It's like a locking mechanism that turns quarter inch.
It's like worse than IKEA.
Dude, IKEA is like the gold standard here. They're terrible.
That's tough.
This and the fucking TV stand.
Yeah.
Brutal. But yeah, so this whole war, right? Like I think let's just go into perspective of what we had to go through. For me, 2 of my cousins died, right? And it's rough because it's like my family, like we talked about family sizes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Both my sides, like my mom has 16 brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And my dad has 18.
Jesus.
So like these people were into like the hundreds of cousins that are born
That's a lot.
since I moved out of Iran. So like a lot of these motherfuckers, I don't even know who they are. When I go back there, I'm like fucking Gaddafi.
R.I.P. Gaddafi.
R.I.P. Gaddafi.
He was a good man.
Gaddafi was solid.
Learned about him recently.
Syria's old school guy. God, Al-Assad was a dude, bro.
Really?
He was well spoken. He was the Barack of Syria.
I gotta look into him more.
Al-Assad was legit. He had a nice, crisp, polished look.
Yeah, no, I'll give him that.
He had a very polished look. He spoke English well.
Yeah.
He wasn't an extremist by any form in that area.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about a guy who's from Syria, of all places, of all the atrocities that happened in Syria for Syrian people, fucking God bless.
Yeah.
But holy fuck, like that's the guy. But I'm going to go even on a limb and say, in a certain context, majority rules. And I would say if we were going to go based on majority rules, Saddam wasn't that bad.
I know some Iraqis recently, just from, I guess, living in Poco. It's
Donair shop operators.
Literally, it's wild. It happened like in the time that I couldn't see you and I had to fucking actually pay for a haircut. I go across the street where the community center is.
Yeah.
And right there is a barbershop, Iraqis. Actually, I did mention them to you once before because I've been to them like once or twice in like the last year. They're Iraqi Catholics.
Oh,
yeah.
That's rare.
It's very rare. It was so rare that I decided to look it up because I was like, what the fuck? It is for those, I mean, it'd be pretty obvious when you're listening, like Iraq, it is extremely rare. But the long and the short of it, the point of why I bring it up, they're like, yo, shit might have been hard under Saddam, but he respected us. Like he let us do our thing. We were good. We didn't have to worry about our lives.
Yeah.
He's like, under ISIS,
there's an imbalance.
We literally didn't know if we were going to die going home from groceries.
This is what it was that everywhere.
Bad. That's why. So they actually came here. Guess what year they came here?
2022.
Yeah, like 2015, 2016. Like not that long ago. Like not
I was
2004. Yeah, no, I know. But what I'm saying, it wasn't like 2004. No, he literally came in like in the tens, right? In like 2015, 2016.
Which is not that far away.
Not that far away, especially given when this whole thing happened, which was the early 2000s. So it goes to show, like, these guys, like I said, to your point of Saddam, it's like, yeah, at least say what you will about some of these rulers in the areas, but if they can keep a country from falling apart, it's pretty good.
Look, it's the survival of the fittest. And the reality is if the people left on their own pick Saddam or this guy from Syria or Gaddafi, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
That's who they respect. and if you go after extremists, and I'll say this, Shias are a little bit more extremist when you kill their leader than Sunnis are.
Well, Shias believe in martyrdom.
Martyrdom is like the key. I've talked about this, and like that's the ultimate enlightenment.
Yes, for a Shia,
you have to understand. And geopolitically, if you're pulling off a fucking rig like this, where you're attacking them, what do you think 85 to 90 million people are thinking? Most of them are low IQ fucking retards, because that's what it is in the whole world, right? Most people are not as smart as like the baseline, right? The baseline is made by majority being under the baseline. So with that in mind, is this a smart position to make as the United States, is to attack them in these positions? They could have easily talked them into having that, because they have so many sanctions. And recently, didn't they take the Russian sanction off oil, the Iranian sanction off oil? This is actually, if you don't know,
I'm not super into the details of the current conflict.
I'll tell you, because I'm balls deep.
Yeah, I would imagine.
They've took off Russian and Iranian sanctions off oil, which means that if it's a Russian production or an Iranian production, we will get it at the same price that you would have.
Exactly.
Exactly. A 1-to-1. And that is crazy, because you're going to war with a country that you're saying, okay, China gets X amount of tariffs. Japan gets X amount of tariffs. Our allies in Europe gets X amount of tariffs. But this country that I'm going to war with
will not
get any tariffs. They will get a 1-to-1.
That's crazy.
Which shows the imbalance. And I've pulled off, I don't want to say how much on air of money, but like thousands of dollars off the stock market, and I've taken a loss for this specific reason. I knew I think me, along with other people, that this war is going to go on for many years. It might go on for at least a year.
Yeah.
And in this 3 months since January, we've seen ETFs like BWET, which is crude oil tankers, go up 500%.
Yeah.
Come in, don't worry. 500%.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I sent you guys those memes, because I took like 200K and I put it on crude oil tankers in like mid-February. I wasn't even early. I was late. And to this day, it's 125%.
Yeah.
And that's the craziest fucking thing, is that there is a market for stocks. And the market for stocks is this: oil, then basically gold, uranium, any kind of special minerals that you need. And then it's stocks. You'll see like 3 days of stocks going up because Donald Trump said, oh yeah, we're doing great business with Iran.
Yeah.
But then you also see Barron Account's fucking wallet go up like 150 million. And you're like, how the fuck did this guy do this? That's like insider trading.
I noticed that you also follow Nicholas Crown.
Yeah,
he's one of the few guys that I've seen talking about this in a real way. I
very smart guy.
Very. I saw him. You know how I first saw him? He used to make memes.
Yeah,
he used to make the funny videos where he's like, how rich people and poor people talk or whatever. And then I didn't see him for years. And then literally last month I saw him again. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, what's this guy doing? And I'm scrolling through his feed, and it's all like real shit. Because this guy, I said, has an actual background, but. Yeah, he's one of the few guys that I see that talks about this.
Real guy.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen, babe, who was that guy? Dustin? Who's that investor? Escapes my mind.
A lot of investors.
The
what? He's
an investor.
Investor. Yeah, he has got like slick back hair, a mustache.
I'll show you
from New York.
After the pod. I'll show you.
His shirt's a little bit tight.
Looks good. Looks good. No, I can't complain.
That's the problem, is like when it gets too tight, like you have like the bunching in the buttons.
Do you know what's crazy?
What?
He had a 70% year.
I believe it.
Babe, what was the best percentage I got on your stocks for you? 40% I got
40 is pretty crazy.
Stocks. Witness.
40 is pretty high.
40 is pretty high. It came down a little bit because I trusted the US market a little bit too much. but then I looked back and then I looked into other things. One thing that's making me very, very interested is this quantum aspect of being able to automate volume trades. Have you heard about this?
No.
So basically, with quantum computers, they're saying that they can crack basically any kind of Bitcoin blockchain. Have you heard about this?
I have heard way back when quantum computing was still being talked about.
Yeah.
Qubits and all that bullshit. They were talking about how decryption would be like
nonsensical.
Orders of magnitude.
Nonsensical. Yeah. Almost like if you have a blockchain, you can get who is Satoshi Yamamoto.
Sure.
Did you see that portion where they said Epstein's Satoshi Yamamoto?
I did see that. I don't know if
they said Ghislaine Maxwell was Satoshi Yamamoto.
I'm like, I don't know.
What do you think about that?
As an email.
What do you think? That's crazy. This is the thing I hate about social media is that anybody with a fucking 2 IQ can put a style of an email screenshot up that looks exactly like the files. How the hell do we differentiate? We don't. We just sit there like goyams.
Look at this guy with his Hebrew.
and we look back and we're like, maybe that's true, maybe that's not. What do you do in a situation like that? Do you look further, or do you just say, fuck it, I'm gonna just block this out of my life with all the things I got going on?
Yeah, so I found for myself personally, I've been trying to allocate my mental space with certain things. So if something comes across my feed that I feel like is interesting, I might look deeper. But I'm not trying to saturate my fucking, like, there's so much going on right now where I'm like, sometimes I'm just browsing Instagram to fucking browse. Like, I'm just trying to fucking see some funny shit, see some random bullshit, some funny videos, some whatever. If I happen to see some interesting shit, okay, cool. What I've noticed is that when the algorithm picks up on it, that like that's all you get.
Yeah.
Because it's either going viral or Instagram or Facebook thinks that you like it. So all of a sudden, now I'm getting like 1 million fucking investor fucking reels or 1,000,001 Israel memes or whatever the fuck. These are delicious, by the way.
Do you think so that might happen. Wonderful girlfriend for that.
Yeah, thank you. That might happen, but I try not to dig too deep because my thing is with a lot of the controversial stuff. I feel like if it's worth digging into, people will dig into. I don't need to. If that makes sense.
Did you see recently Cash Patel came out as Spider Cash on X videos?
On porn? Yeah.
That was crazy. X videos came out with Spider Cash.
Why would you use your name in a username?
Spider Cash, yo. And he was looking at gay porn.
Oh, good?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I don't believe when he has this wife from Mossad. It's
was it good though? Were they good videos though?
They're not gay. They're loud. They're not. No. It's not that so many people are gay. Here, let me tell you why. So many people seem gay because they're the loudest. Because they have nothing going for them. So they sit around and they talk about their sexuality. Like real men don't sit around and talk about their sexuality. It's like, oh yeah, I'm straight. Motherfucker, who cares? No one cares you're straight.
No one cares you're straight. No one cares you're gay.
That's the thing. It's like,
no one cares.
Did you see this recently NDP thing?
Which one?
Where they're like, babe, what did it say? It said something along the lines of, they have these cards that they pick and they come into a lottery where if they get the card, they can speak in the voting. So they have these campaigns, these NDP campaigns.
Okay.
And they come up and they say, okay, I am not, what do they say? Come here. Come here.
You can hear the echo.
You got to speak on it. You can't.
I hear the echo. But it was essentially a room of fucking people. It was like a debate room. And they were like, my gay card only holds value in this gay room, and outside of this gay room it doesn't hold any value. But I'm gonna say, like right now, I'm like so fucking happy.
Where was this?
This is at like an NDP rally.
Wow. Do you hear about that BC conservative was beating his wife?
No.
Richmond Center MLA. Yeah. Got kicked out of caucus last week. Yeah.
So what? Now you can't beat your wives?
What are we doing here?
Hey, come on. You got to be able to beat your wife one time.
Shit.
What happened to the good old days when you could beat your wife?
They left. They went away.
Those were good days for us.
Those were good days for someone, yeah.
No, but like even if you don't beat your wife, hey, I could do it. I just don't.
It could happen.
I just don't because I'm a good guy.
I'm a good guy. I won't do it, but I could.
A good guy.
I could.
I think you would use that. I think that's what you'd be using.
I could.
I could, but I don't.
But I won't.
Because I'm a gentleman.
That's right.
That's the ultimate flex is like, listen, I could do this, but I won't. I want you to rate these quotes. I have like 1,000 quotes.
Holy shit. You've been compiling?
I've been compiling.
Damn, this guy's a compiler in his free time.
Listen, let's go to this. Oh, I sent you that Kingdom of Heaven one.
That one's a good one. That between Saladin and David. Or no, Joshua?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Born to be a dragon slayer, cursed to be a taxpayer.
That's funny.
What's this out of 10? Come on.
That's I think that's in a movie. That's a probably good like 8 out of 10. In real life, that's like a 6. Like come on,
that's a 6.
That's a bit much for real life.
Met my younger self for coffee today. I lit a cigarette. He left the table.
What does that even mean?
That my younger self was disgusted by me lighting a cigarette.
Damn. Okay, well that's a bit higher. I give that in real life like a 7.
When I finally kicked the mouse in the kitchen before dying, it says, I was hiding from the world, but never from you.
Oh shit. I feel bad for that mouse.
Dude.
8. That's an 8.
I was hiding from the world, but never from you.
That's crazy.
Dude. That for me, if a mouse ever came to my house and said these words, I swear to God, I'll call my mom, put her on FaceTime, and I would take a samurai sword to the chest. That's the craziest shit.
How cruel is that reality?
How cruel is that reality, man? Yep. Like if you're a Christian, I'm not even religious.
Yeah.
That's like, that brings tears to my eyes, man. That's crazy. And now you are finally able to pay the bill for the whole table, but there's no one left to sit on it.
Shit, that's a good one. That might be the best. That's definitely the best one so far.
That's a good one.
That's the best one so far.
So that means don't keep saving too much.
Yeah, like don't let your life pass you by.
Yeah, because you never know. You might be the last motherfucker. Most family and friends don't actually want the best version of you. They want the version of you that serves them.
That's an interesting one. I think that's like a 7.
I think as a single child, do you ever get that polar opposites through your family?
In what sense?
Is there a consensus where your aunts and uncles are after where your father isn't or your mother isn't?
What do you mean? Like,
well, there might be emotion to think a certain way with your cousins and aunts and uncles versus what the reality is with your father and mom.
Yeah, that's true. Like there's definitely an interesting dynamic about being an only child.
There is dynamics and dimensions.
There is.
Through what understanding and what reality is when you see your aunt and uncles versus what you see your mom. Like I'll tell you like this. I went back one time and it was just because we have 4 years drafting in Iran.
Right.
And we can't really go back unless you pay him like $30,000. I'm like, fuck Iran, you know? It wasn't that much. It wasn't that good when I was there.
Yeah.
So when I went there, like, I'll tell you right now, like my uncles, because of my dad, because my dad's a fucking villain. Because of my dad, they just shit talk my mom.
Mm-hmm.
But I know my mom. You know what I'm saying? And she's not like that. She's like a poor soul that had bad shit happen to her.
Mm-hmm.
But like through herself, she can't hurt a fly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the perspective. But both sides can't see that. My mom thinks she's just my mom, right? And my uncles think, oh man, she should have been smarter. She should have did this, should have did that. And this, it's easy armchair quarterbacking 30 years in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I honestly think that it's always going to be a dynamic.
Always.
It's always going to be a dynamic. Listen, I took 2 hits of that vape pen, and I don't know.
Feel it now, Mr. Krabs.
I'm going deep with these quotes.
I will say this to your point. Listen, an only child will feel things that a child's siblings will never. Like something that I've started to think about recently is how what the load of taking care of my parents is going to be like in 20, 30 years.
It's going to be heavy.
I'm an only child because I will be the only one. Not only am I the only one, but I'm the only family that they have here in Canada.
Hold on.
Full stop.
If hold on.
Very close.
No shit.
Very close.
These are obvious questions. You don't think if Hector had like a sibling, we'd meet it by now? I'd be like smoking weed with it.
No, it. What do you mean?
What? We don't know. It could be. Wait, what? What kind of question is that?
What I have?
Would you prefer?
Oh, what I prefer? I think I would have preferred an older one. Yeah,
everybody would.
I think most guys.
Who would want a younger, dumber sibling? It's like, yo, do you want more sibling or you want guidance?
Yeah,
it's like, no shit. I want guidance. But it's not like I would want a brother.
Damn.
I would always want a brother, and this is why I would want a brother. The thing with a brother is you don't know this, but I maybe you've seen it in other people.
Mm-hmm.
The older brother, if he turns out well, he takes all the burdens on.
Yes,
all of them.
I have seen this and heard of it,
and it's almost to a point where he outperforms your father.
That's the goal.
No. There's motherfuckers I know where they have older brothers that outperform the father, and the father was a great man.
No, I know what I'm saying. That's the goal. Every father wants that out of their firstborn.
What happens to that firstborn after that? That firstborn is in like, I don't want to make this douchey, but he's in like godly territory. And what does that mean? That means like if he looks at you funny, you doubt your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if you ever like mediating these boundaries or not, but like to get approval in certain families is much higher looked upon than other families. If you're a single born, well, you get all the attention, you get all the burdens, you get everything, but it also makes you well-rounded, right?
By default, you do get everything.
By default, you get everything, and like you're also like, you know, your wedding is the wedding.
Yeah,
your children are the grandchildren. You know, time with you is everything because it's the legacy.
Yep.
Right. And that is like it's unspoken for. But when you split that into like, let's say you got 4 fucking kids.
Yeah.
Well, now it doesn't mean the same thing, right? Because it could, but you would have to have a big heart as a parent for that to mean.
Well, it speaks to like these like sibling dynamics. Like when you talk about like oldest child syndrome, youngest child, middle child syndrome, all this shit. It's natural. It's gonna happen. A fucking parent can't be 100% to all their kids at all times. It's not humanly possible.
Would you say it's not humanly possible or it's effort bound?
No, I just don't think it's humanly possible. I mean, you can try, but like just think about it from a time point of view. You just can't, right? Like I'm, as an only child, I'm getting, if a parent has like 8 hours to give because whatever, I'm getting 8 out of 8 hours. A fucking child is like they're getting it split. It's either they're in the room together and you're splitting attention, or you do an activity for them, like they're going to like whatever soccer.
Do you think having an only child is better?
I wouldn't say it's better.
Why is it better or worse? You mean the pros and cons?
Pros and cons. Pros, you're never gonna have
the time.
You're not gonna have issues with splitting attention. You're not gonna have time with splitting attention between your kids. You're not gonna have issues between them fighting with each other. So you're not gonna deal with any like possible.
Hold on, let's.
Sure, I had it right here. 1 sec.
Last quote.
Okay, fine.
What a strange being is a man. He destroys his present while worrying about his future. yet cries in the future when remembering his past.
Damn.
Imam Ali.
Damn, dude. Imam Ali.
Imam Ali said that.
Respect to Imam.
That's you know, that's prophet stuff.
That is.
I've been saving these quotes for multiple months.
Stockpile.
An enemy will agree, but a friend will argue.
I did see that one.
You like that one?
That one was a really good one.
I noticed that your own people didn't support you, so I sent strangers. God.
Oh shit.
That's like Poseidon.
These
1, 2, 4, 2.
These are like scripture. Yeah, these are like scriptures.
In this life, the brave ones die, the smart ones go crazy, and the world remains full of happy fools. Look at you, comforting others with words you wish someone had said to you.
Okay.
Under peaceful conditions, warlike man attacks himself.
Say that one again.
Under peaceful conditions, warlike man attacks himself. Because he can't, he's too ADHD. He's got to do something. We're all sailboats being powered by life's winds. The wind will continue pushing, but we have sails to decide where it takes.
Is that how you guys go to bed and sell some quotes? Like honey.
Quotes? Babe, we got to master tomorrow by these ones. These ones. No, I think we have, to be honest, it's probably the most imbalanced relationship where it makes the most pragmatic sense at all times, all the time, without us even trying. Do you know what I mean?
No.
You're kind of on this, like, okay, I'll give you an example. I get up, right? The first thing I'm thinking, like, let's hit the gym. And I look at her and I'm like, hey, let's hit the gym. And she's like, let's go. Or like, we're like, okay, we got to work on this, and this. There's very little like friction in my head, at least. In her head, it might be 1,000 period things. She might be going through her progesterone period, prolactin's high. That's the way it is. It gets done. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
I love it.
But you have, as it kind of gets closer to your wedding,
sure,
different aspects of what you experience is noteworthy.
I will say that the process overall there have been stressful times for sure, but the fact that I've chosen to be as involved as I have has been a benefit, because I think if I was one of those guys that said, all right, babe, I'll just show up on the wedding day, you do whatever, I think that gives out the idea that you don't give a shit. And I don't think that's a healthy thing to have in a relationship. Like, if you go into life just cruising by, not having an opinion on things, what are you in a relationship for?
Yeah, chill out.
Everything,
chill out.
Every aspect. There are some things.
He doesn't have anybody to correct him on what he's doing right or wrong yet.
There are some
He's
things,
just his perspective right now.
There are some things that it in my opinion have made more sense for Sabrina to take more of like a lead on. And we've even had conversations like, all right, like, you'll handle this, like you handle this, you talk to these vendors. So some of the vendors we split, not to get to specifics, but we split like different vendors.
Is it 50-50?
I would say so, roughly. Yeah. And
it's not 50-50.
No, because a lot of that we have to do together.
You're fat.
That we have to do together. These are important things. The vendor.
This doesn't matter.
The vendor has been, especially because the vendor was the biggest ticket item, because the vendor for the venue is not just the venue, it's venue, food and drink. It's all in one. So had it been separate where we rented a hall and then we had to find catering services and bring our own drinks, it'd be a bit different. But the fact that no, they have recommended vendors for other services. So for example, just really quickly, the venue that we're having the reception in, they take care of food and drink and desserts. They have this like pamphlet where they're like, all right, these are the services we offer. If you guys want, you can do the ceremony here.
Is it worth it to go with those vendors, or is it better to go with your own?
We went with their recommended vendor for decorating.
Did it save you money?
I don't know if it's yes, it actually did, but that's not the main reason why we went with it. The main reason was because sometimes in certain venues, you want to go with the recommended vendor because they know the venue very well. You don't want a situation where you bring in someone completely new.
They're new to the environment.
And they have to spend like a whole day just understanding where the fuck everything is.
Yeah.
Exactly. Versus, for example, like our decorator knows the ins and outs. Like she has spare keys to certain rooms. Like, could you imagine a situation where you bring in a vendor and they're like, hey, could you like help me out? It's like, well, help yourself out. Exactly. In this situation, though, with the decorator, we actually did save money because we went for some other quotes for other decorators, and they were like ridiculous. So we didn't not only save some money on that, but the comfort of the decorator is flowers, table arrangements, so like runners and like chair covers, candles. If
or they're like.
No, this is what we want and you do it. So you usually, this decorator is pretty good. I think it's the same with everyone, but you usually have like a back and forth. So you'll have like an initial, they'll sit you down and be like, hey, what are you feeling you want for your wedding? And if you have an idea, you tell them like, I want an arch. I want, colors. I want these colors. I want this. And they might tell you, hey, those colors are retarded because like roses don't grow in blue, motherfucker. Roses are red, white, and yellow or pink. I actually don't know what the main flowers are. I know the color schemes. I know. I won't. Actually, the wedding place house. We can.
Hold on. Relax. You're doing too much. Chill out. Listen. I got a question.
White, blush, and blue are the colors. Yeah.
White, blush, and blue. How would you describe blush?
Blush is like a pink. It's a shade of pink.
White. The things that has happened in the last 3 months.
It's a full quarter, dog.
What is one thing each of us can say that we learned? And I'll include you into this. Perfect. Now you're learning. What can we all learn about this? What's one thing that you can give that your younger self would learn from? If a version of you is listening.
I would say take a beat and be humble.